Я Синев Матвей, и старший инженер
My name is Matvey.
Vision, отдела технической реализации. Хочу
I'm from the
про то,
technical implementation
что
department.
можно мониторизировать не только через winrm, но также
You can also use SSH, not just winrm, to take stock of the window hosts. This is a process of kind of taking stock of informational assets. Basically, what you do an assessment of all informational assets that the organization has in order to automate the collection of your asset information. We use the network scanners, we use different software for information collectors from the devices, as well as from different other systems. However, what's more important and more interesting, perhaps, is that the domestic market today has a lot of asset management software that is being deployed on Linux systems. So we have a problem here. We have to teach the Windows system to connect to these devices and get information from there. So there are two types of connection. One is by using agents. So the end device has an agent. It's deployed there, and the agent initiates the informational query, or the agent, following a certain schedule, sends the information to us, to the system.
Поэтому здесь, то есть получается, что
So what do we have here? We have two types, with an agent and without an agent. So let's first discuss the situation without an agent. When we connect to Windows house with IRM and SSH connection to Linux and SSH scripts usage regarding this.
Ну и в принципе сейчас я не наблюдал, чтобы кто-то у себя в организации
Basically, I haven't seen a single instance where an organization uses SSH from Windows hosts. This is not a top popular solution, so let's look into this. Let's compare NRAM connection, which is a standard instrument, and SSH. We'll start with WinRM. WinRM. It's a Microsoft protocol, kind of a management protocol that is deployed on Windows and all its hosts, starting with Vista and Server 2008. It is not a cross-platform decision. It uses HTTPS communication. It supports Kerberos and NTLM. And when it sends messages, it does it in a sub format, okay, in messages. And also, there is another peculiarity to get certificates. It takes a lot of time, and I will tell you, based on my experience and our clients, people do just HTTP, okay, and password. This is the solution that we see a lot. In order to teach Linux to connect to Windows using WinRM, we have to provide a set of tools that is GSS and TLM SSP package. We also need the shell and a module for the connection itself. which is WSMan.
Небольшой нюанс.
But there is a nuance regarding WSMan. Microsoft announced that it is not going to support this module anymore for Linux systems. I think it happened after
Linux дистрибутив перестали использовать библиотеку.
A lot of Linux distributed packages stopped using this library, and that's why they decided not to support it anymore.
Решение это
But there is a solution.
EVSman, он был разработан
It's EPS Westman, which was developed in MIT, but I looked at it.
Его лицензии там, в принципе,
I looked the licenses, and what did I discover?
И поддержкой не занимается, и там...
Nobody provides support for this solution as of now, and they explicitly tell us that you can use it at your own risk.
По поводу SSH.
All right, now a few words about SSH. SSH is a protocol.
И графический протокол сетевого уровня.
It's a graphic protocol of network level. Okay, let's rephrase it. So basically, it's a protocol for connecting, as a rule, to Unix hosts, right? And Microsoft in 2018 announced that they are Windows is going to support OpenSSH, starting with the versions of Windows 10, 18.3.
Так, по поводу OpenSSH, то есть
Now, regarding OpenSSH, it's an open source protocol implementation. It's cross-platform. It supports the functionality to do SCP and SFTP and also tunneling. It also has open key authentication, and it does encryption as well.
Подключение к Windows и машинам возникает там
проблем с Linux. So you get into a number of problems when connected to Windows machine. Windows has its own difficulties. So in any event, you need to set up a connection over HTTPS, even though the data is not encrypted. It uses the EVL security, but it's not safe. Also, Microsoft doesn't support WSMan for Linux. And from the experience, when setting up the connection, you get into different errors, wrong passwords, absence of some permissions, or the host is not listed as a trusted one. And WS just throws out an error, look up somewhere where the error may be. If you take Linux and OpenSSH, well, I've already listed the advantages. It's a bit more secure out of the box. It also passes all the data where you need them. And there's another point, it can be assembled bypassing any backdoors that can be placed in OpenSSH, in RRM, and so on and so forth. So what needs to be done to connect to a Windows machine using OpenSSH? We need to have a client. It's present in all Linux systems. We need to deploy the OpenSSH server on a Windows machine. It can be done, and one recommends it to be done via group policies. Just deploy a Messiah package and configure it, and enable public keys if we want to use public keys to communicate. And there are several points there that you need to set up. Key-based authentication, that's set in SSH. Then you need to install the PowerShell interpreter by default. Even though if we don't do that, we'll just get to CMD and would be able to call PowerShell from there. Also, it turned out there's an open SSH has a great parameter called authorized keys command, which can be used to distribute those public keys. And indeed, in this command, we're saying that we're describing the script that has some additional attributes describing where this public key is, so that using this record we can connect to all those hosts. I'm running out of time, and this is my last slide. I just wanted to talk about risks, information security risk. It could be unauthorized connection, open SSH, vulnerabilities, open SSH key, being compromised, MITM sessions, DOS, and others. So it can be done. Key-based authentication, TB3 with strict rights delegation and control, centralized security console and hosts, and prompt update management and mitigation measures in case of being compromised. So I tried to fit within the time allowed. Thank you.